Yes. Okay, so to know more, we have the World Cleanup Day Indonesia leader, Andi Bahari, or Abe, in the studio. Hi, welcome, Abe.
Welcome to see you, Abe.
Thank you for having me.
Yay! First of all, was it so tiring to pick up all those 1.35 tons garbage in the Ciliwung River? How did it feel like?
Mixed feeling, of course. I feel exhausted, but because a lot of people was there, and it was, really, it was more like we all in one spirit together, so we don't really think about our physical exhaustion anymore. So we just like, okay, we have to keep going, and then everyone just like really on fire. So after, oh, this is we collecting a lot of garbage. Usually we have less than 1 ton. I mean, using solely through our hand, bare hand, but this time it passed through 1 ton only within 1 hour, so it was really
within 1 hour?
Yeah, within 1 hour.
Oh, wow.
Amazing.
So, tell us first, okay, about World Cleanup Day community. You founded this community, and how was it? How did the process work?
I didn't, so I was the successor of the previous leader. So before myself, there's another leader, ex-leader, her name is Agustina Iskandar. So she was the founder, the one who brought in the organizations from Estonia in 2018.
Right.
And during that time, it was become a global movement. So Indonesia is just one of the
From the 191 countries. Wow, that's amazing. So basically it's from Estonia to Indonesia.
Yeah.
So since the name of the community is World Cleanup Day Indonesia, World Cleanup Day Indonesia Community, because you are here in Indonesia. What actually the activity? Is that only for the day of the World Cleanup Day, or is there any other activities? If there is no particular days to clean up, to save the environment, to what can you share more about that?
Good question. So actually, we are not community, we are the movement. So actually, we umbrella like thousands of movement across Indonesia. So yeah, definitely we have one ceremonial event that only held on the 3rd week Saturday on every September every year.
Okay.
Yeah, so this year is on the 16th September.
16th of September.
Yeah, so everyone can join and come, and wherever you come from, which community, you can definitely come and join if you have the same visions and mission. So do it all together.
Oh, okay.
I mean, this is getting so interesting because I've seen a lot of movements as well.
Yeah.
It's quite similar. They clean up the rivers or areas that are loaded with trash. In Bali, for example, right? Recently we saw in social media. But, you are very familiar, I'm sure, with the term of the circular economy. Because in order to make sure that this doesn't go anywhere, just wasted and, happen again in the future, there's the circular economy. Do you know about this as well? Or do you just collect the trash and then you will leave it to somebody to, process the waste for that?
So actually, for the cleanup itself, it's like really on the back end because the trash is already, scattered around the environment. So we have to really pick it up. But besides that, we also have to, promote the circular economy, to educate people to really manage their waste wisely, prevent it to, getting scattered around the environment. So we have to really teach, especially Indonesian people, to know how to segregate their waste at home. So people always get jealous to those developed countries. They're like, oh, why Japan so clean?
Recently the South Korea, right?
Yeah. And then why all these European, all these Scandinavian countries got so clean? I say, hey, actually they already have been, practicing all these segregation waste at home for a really long time. So it's become a lifestyle. Whereas our Indonesians still, throw garbage everywhere, and that's a really fundamental no big thing that we shouldn't do, and that's still happening. Sadly, it's still happening in our daily basis. Like when we driving or we on the street, and then suddenly the car in front of us just like open the window, just like,
oh yeah,
plastic
I've seen that.
Oh my God, I see that a lot of times.
Or people riding motorbike, or there's a river, and just like throw the household garbage onto the river. So which is really sad, and that's the reality that we face in a daily basis. I mean, most people only see this issue in Bali because there's so many, bule and all these foreigners there that really expose this. Actually, across
true.
of Indonesia have
Yeah.
this facing the same problem. Yeah.
So basically, you speaking or you mentioned about the behavior of, especially here because we live here in Jakarta. So
Yeah.
basically, the behavior by throwing the garbage like. There is nothing important than that.
Yes.
Like just throw it away, no, without care about anything else. Just throw it
Yeah.
away because I can.
Yeah.
So is that true that you can actually found like mattress in Ciliwung River or even furniture, like the old electronics?
This is like-
what did you find?
This is like a shop in Chiliwung River because you can find
I said it's like
Oh my God, it's
Not a
like
lie.
everything.
oh wow.
You can find the small thing, I like the smallest thing until like really huge thing, like just what you say, mattress and then like
Really?
furniture. Yeah.
Oh my
Furnitures.
God.
Yes. and then-
Furnitures,
and but,
electronics, even
yeah.
they throw it at the river.
man.
I don't know. So when you are clean up the river, basically you need a volunteers, right?
Yeah.
From any other communities. How do you guys are gathered to become one group communities and you can work together with them?
So basically, because we believe we couldn't tackle this all by ourselves,
Yeah.
we just, the people who really found this movement together. So we always need help from different communities to come on board. So sometimes all these volunteers come from different communities and also come from like people who individually care about the environment. So they come. So how we do it, actually, we do open recruitment through our social media, and people just fill the form, and then we select the volunteers. So we choose the best among the best sometimes. But I mean, because the previous activity that we do on the Ciliwung River, we couldn't open like as big as usual because it will be too many people on one place. So we have to selectively select them. But if we're talking about, let's say, on the peak activity on the September 16th, then there's no
Anyone can.
no
join.
limit.
Yeah.
Anyone can come.
So do you have to have a special skill then to be a volunteer?
No.
So you just have to collect garbages.
Yeah, only you have that heart that you
Yeah.
want to protect
Nature.
the nature, our Mother Earth, and all you need is your bare hand and just pick it up and yeah.
But apart from being so mindful in trashing, you think segregating your trash at home will make a solution to this waste problem, especially in the capital city like Jakarta, which is very crowded and all that?
Maybe not fully, but I would say it will definitely help a lot because we need a lot of other stakeholders to also contribute and help. Because let's say if our society or the citizens already segregate their waste like really nice and all really neatly, but we don't have the infrastructure to support all the citizens already segregate their waste, then it can be meaningless. So the government have to make the really right policy, and the government have the corporates have to
Private sector, right?
Yeah, build maybe a facility that can buy back the single use, and then the education sector have to really implementing all these educating these young kids that we need to take care of our mother natures, and we citizens also segregate our waste. All of these stakeholders have their own roles to play in this complicated, complex of our waste issues that we face, not only in Indonesia, but also globally. So everyone have their own roles that need to play. Yeah.
Oh my
So
God.
how effective, how effective that you guys are started at 2018, right? Since
Yeah, since
2018, you started everything to clean up the basically Indonesia, not only in Ciliwung River. How effective your movement with your community? Is there any like calculations? People's behavior are changing,
Before and after
especially in the area.
So it's really hard to like calculating because we have too many people already joined. So since 2018 until last year, 2022, we already have accumulative like around 25 million people already participate.
25 million across Indonesia.
Oh, wow.
We are actually one of the largest among
Yeah.
Actually, number one, I would say,
Yeah.
amongst the 191 countries, and we have that 25 million people came on board before,
Yeah.
and we collected more than 50,000 tons of waste.
Wow.
5 year periods of time. Because, I mean, we just a movement, right? We don't have a research department who really calculate all of this. But for example, we about the behavioral change in society that we already feel or we already see and we witness ourselves, we definitely feel it because I think people who really don't care about environment, all these things start penetrating into their lifestyle. Like let's say like supermarkets start, you know,
No single-use
no single
plastic.
use anymore, and then a
Yes.
lot of place they like, hey, they have options. Do you want to use straw or not?
Yeah.
And you start having all these choices, and all these
Yes.
corporates start become more conscious, and they like substituting things like more eco-friendly, you know.
Plastic bag,
Yeah, and a lot of
cassava bag.
yeah, exactly. So they have all these options now. Previously, we don't have that. Even let's say as early as like 7 or 8 years, all these options very limited.
So basically, it has to be a collective movement, not only cleaning up, but also making the policies, as you mentioned, and also private sectors trying to support this movement as well. You know, I don't know about Indonesia, but you mentioned that education is one of the very, very important matters here. So your cleanup World Day movement, does it also include, you know, educating people to start with themselves how to segregate their trash, for example, or, you know, if you want to buy a single-use plastic bottle, then you need to think twice, you know, things like that. I mean, those are very simple, right?
Yes. We definitely need to, you know, not only asking people to pick up trash on the environment, but definitely we also educate people to, hey, you know, you can transform, use cooking oil into soap, or, you know, we all have these informations out there, actually. So we try to educate as much as people to, you know, to manage their waste, that they can tackle all their waste at their home, actually, if they really want to do it, like composting and, you know, minimalism
That is so
lifestyle.
simple things to do, actually.
Actually, it's really simple. Like, people always think about like complicated things or something that out of their reach, but actually it's not. It's something that really close to us.
That's true.
And then talking about
Educated people, probably, you are involving them
educated. So we
in the movement.
actually find out that we have all these experts across Indonesia, but they don't really have that stage to, you know, educating people.
Like
so we give them.
Like the fixed platform to share about this.
And even
movement.
We become the platform for them to have that, to like voice out what they have.
I just checked their website, worldcleanupday.org/country/Indonesia.
That's your picture in there.
Yeah, this is you, Andy. And so basically in last year, for last year's theme, it's hashtag kami 13 juta.
Okay.
Indonesia.
So
have you reached that? 13 million?
Never.
But that's the goal.
I mean, that's the spirit.
Yeah.
The closest that we ever reached that number is 9.5 in 2019, I believe, before COVID period. But after that, you know, people couldn't go out and we have to stay at home. So actually, before that, we don't really teach people to do waste segregations. But during the pandemic, we have to find another program that really match the situations that we faced that time. So we start infusing waste segregations educations, and also we infusing to people to have more like minimalism lifestyle and declutter their things, that unwanted things.
Yeah.
So yeah, because people always, you know, everything is like do online shopping.
Exactly.
Really,
That's the problem as well.
It's so easy.
When
Yeah.
you shop online, they give us like
So big
many
packaging.
plastic, exactly,
Yeah.
to wrap up the things.
And
like
don't
very
forget about the
slow
carbon
one.
footprint, though.
Oh my God, I know.
that's a
I
lot.
know.
We always tell people like, is that the things that you purchase you really need or you want?
Yeah.
So you need to really asking that question
mindful.
toward
Yeah, be
yourself and be
mindful.
mindful, definitely, because if you want, like, you will never satisfy, because you always want new things, the most trendiest thing, and you have to have that mentality to keep up with everything.
Yeah,
true.
And because of that, our planet become, you know, the victims of all these individuals that become really shopaholic and
Yeah.
consumptive. So
You have to think the reduce, reuse, and recycle all the time as
And
much as you
rethink
can, right?
your actions.
Yeah.
And rethink about the actions,
Everything,
right?
that's right. But I think all the young generation, we talked about younger
Yeah.
generations, they are more aware, don't you think?
Yeah.
yes.
I want to hear from your perspective because you've seen a lot of people acting towards their waste and how they, shop and be mindful about environment.
For younger generations, I have mixed feeling because nowadays is a social media era. Everyone to again showing the most trendiest fashion and etc. So it's like kind of like split into two different groups, and one group's like really like eco-friendly and
Yeah.
like really eco-conscious, and the other group was like keep promoting, hey, you have to buy the newest
Yeah.
things, and we have this.
There's always two sides, right?
But if we're talking about comparisons compared to previous generations, yeah, definitely there's more kids that really, or youngsters really aware with what's going on about climate change, about the waste issues, because it's really out there, really start feeling it.
Yeah.
It's like maybe 20, 30 years ago, we haven't,
Talked
seen
about-
so many trash on the river,
Yes,
we
right.
haven't really, city got flooded because of climate change, but recently, we that things start become really frequent.
Of course.
So all these youngsters, hey, if we keep going on like this, maybe we don't even have future home because we are the young kids. We need to fight for our planet because this home is,
Full of trash.
is our future
Alright,
and
yeah.
for our next generations to come. If
Yes.
it get destroyed, then where
We
your
don't have
kids
Or we
are
got drowning because of the trash.
Yeah, we don't have any other options. We don't
Oh
have
my
any
God.
other planets to live on.
Oh, no, I'm staying
There's no
here.
planet.
No.
So, speaking about the World Cleanup Day Indonesia, does the World Cleanup Day Indonesia community have any plans or any project for the near future, especially in this year, 2023?
People are always asking, hey, why we keep cleaning up for people, especially, have been doing this for like 5 years. I say, hey, but I know maybe our knowledge like quite higher because we've been doing it for really so long, but we still need to really educate all these people that haven't awakened or haven't, aware about
They're still
this.
asleep.
Yeah, still asleep, basically. They're like, "Plum," or like throwing garbage is something normal, but we need to, poking those people to become awake.
yeah.
So our core activity is still clean up, still there. But for people who want to have optional other, activities or programs that they want to do, like you have, decluttering, digital cleanup, waste segregations,
Yeah.
and there's so many other things. Sometimes we also do like nature rehabilitations, also like planting trees, because I mean, how can you planting like mangrove or something when you go there? Oh my God, there's trash
Yeah.
over there, and then like we have no choice. We have to clean it first before we plant it. So those things start branching out and become diversified because of we just couldn't do clean up, and when we go there, things as not as simple as we thought, and we just like, okay, we need to start having this, that, there, and because of that, we have to become creative and make more programs
Yeah,
to
that's good.
match with the
So
situation.
as you mentioned, this is like a collective and it's branching out more and more
Yeah.
since you founded you during this World Cleanup Day. So for people who are interested, how can they sign up and join with your movement?
So people actually can reach to us to we are the most active at our Instagram platform. So it's at World Cleanup Day Indonesia. So if you guys want to join, definitely can reach out to us and DM us. So if you want to become a volunteer or you a corporates that need to help assisting to become more sustainable, and we definitely can help you guys to transform.
I have an idea. Maybe you should change the name. World Cleanup 365 days.
Not only one day.
One day. It's like for the whole year, right?
Actually,
year,
that's
the
what
whole time.
we are thinking.
That's the
And
aim, right?
we couldn't do it only one day. I mean,
Yeah.
that's only ceremonial, but we always say to the team, hey, we need to, every day is World Cleanup Day, not only
Yes.
like one day, but,
Just an idea.
just
Yeah,
but,
yeah,
but Yeah, we have the same
So basically,
wavelength.
yeah, like what
That's
he
great.
said, collaborating is really
Yeah.
important. So basically, they cannot work for themselves. It needs a lot of help, lots of people to work together because it's our responsibility.
It is.
Yes,
It's our
and I believe
responsibility.
every day can become a work cleanup day when you know those things like, oh, like I, you know, doing jogging or something, and we just like, oh, I pick it up, you know. And those small things really count, like for each individuals. When we start integrating that, become part of our lifestyle, then every day become work cleanup day.
Yeah, maybe in the next World Cup, Indonesian people will collect trash. in
Oh,
the-
just like Japan people in Japan. I wish we become the example for
For the
them.
world.
That would be great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So thank you so much,
Thank you so
Bahari
much
or
for
Abe, for
coming.
sharing, and hopefully we can all join this movement,
Yeah, to
even though not through that platform, but we are aware that every day is a cleanup day. Be
Yeah.
mindful of what you're trashing, right?
Exactly.
All right, so see the story still will continue after the break. Don't go anywhere.